We're in the washroom on this basement project, and I just want to talk to you about the size of this washroom. Now you might notice it's a 6-foot wide washroom. That extra foot compared to other washrooms that you're gonna see, I think really made a big difference down here in the basement. It's giving the appearance that this washroom is quite large, and it really only took an extra 1 foot of space. So this is a 6-foot tub, and the washroom is exactly 6 foot by 8 foot. So you can see all my tile patterns worked out great. 2, 4, 6, 8. And the width worked out to full tiles both ways. So this was a really easy bathroom for me to tile because I stuck with the exact dimensions of the tile we were gonna use, and that made it so that I didn't even have to cut any of these tiles down each side, are all full. And it also made it very easy to line up my patterns. Like right here, this grout line hits center of the toilet, comes up the wall, hits right here in the backsplash. So these type of details are really easy to achieve if you pre-plan and you're using materials that are in those dimensions. 6 by 8, 1 foot by 2 foot. Very easy concept, and I think it really adds a nice feel to this washroom because there's really not a lot of cut tiles, so it makes it feel more complete and more thought out. So just some tips for you guys at home that might be doing something like this. Let's get started. I will start by dry fitting the Curdy membrane and attaching the tile edge to the wall. Once tile edge is installed, I will mix up my all set and start spreading out in the area my sheet will cover. The wall is mold resistant, 1/2-inch drywall, primed and ready to go. Press membrane into all set and start pressing with grout float to make 100% contact to the all set. Notice the gray color bleeding through because I have full contact. Now the piece above. Spread all set, press into the all set, follow the lines on the membrane to ensure proper lap. Starting on the side bottom section, keep corners tight. I will install the membrane over the tile edge flange. I sized up my tile edge 1/8 to allow for the thickness of the membrane. Schluter has special seals to go around valves and other penetrations. In this case, I decided to only use the Curdy membrane. If you are doing a steam shower, you must use them to prevent the positive pressure from driving in behind. All the pieces are installed. I will now use Curdy banding to waterproof corners. Try to keep it consistent in the corners so they stay square. Always start at the bottom. I will let it set up for the day and start wall tile tomorrow. I'm using a 3/8 porcelain tile, 1 foot by 2 foot, and I have very minimal cuts because of the size of the tile. Here is a look at my dry fit. I'm trying to figure out what size my cut will be at the top or bottom. I have the clips and wedges holding it together for accurate measuring. Now that I have my dry fit and cuts finished, I will mix up the all set. This is my favorite mortar to use because it is engineered to be used over or under Ditra and Curdy products. Comes in white or gray, backed with a lifetime warranty. Follow all instructions perfectly. There is different water quantities based on different uses. I'm using a 1/2-inch by 1/2-inch notch trowel to apply all set on the membrane. Then I will use a putty knife to spread a skim on the back of each tile. Press tile into combed all set. I have one plumb line to follow that's marked out in pencil so that I can keep my tiles plumb. Remember, you are looking for full coverage on the tiles when pressing into the mortar. Then use clip and wedge to lock into position. Before moving up the wall, Be sure you are level and plumb. This is the most important route. Whew. All right, things are going really well with this set. Got my first 9 tiles in. I like to work these in batches because I don't like to feel the pressure of my thin set drying out and stuff like that. So this is about as much as I do at a time. So I'm about to carry up the wall. I've checked, everything's perfectly leveled in and perfectly plumb. All my joints are looking good. I know I've got my full adhesion to the wall. I've really squished down on these tiles. That's the problem that we're seeing now with these leveling clips, is that DIYers are not focused on the 100% coverage of the thin set to the wall. That's why I use the 1/2 inch notch trowel. When you squeeze it down, it's supposed to be 100%. Now, a lot of people are more worried about the clips, and they're popping and making sure this is all good, but then this will be hollow, or over here will be hollow. So don't do any of that. Take your time. Make sure you have enough thin set on the wall that you're able to feel that it is 100% attached to the wall. Now, everything's checked out really well, so I'm gonna start building up. Now, if you did run into some problems with yours, or there is some problems that you could run into, 3 rows is a good place to stop and check. So when I got up to this point, I actually determined that I needed to come up a tiny bit down here. You're still able to make those fine adjustments. Now that I'm carrying on from here going up, I will not adjust any of this. This is how it is. I'm super, super happy with it. But that's why I like to work in smaller batches, because then I can make sure everything's going good. And I like to clean up too. I don't like thin set all over my tiles. I don't like thin set even in my prepped area. I like to clean my pails and all my equipment between each time. It kind of just gives me a chance to regroup, make sure everything's going good. So I'm about to start up on the rest of this. We're gonna try to get up to the ceiling today on this back wall. And then I got some other woodwork and things to do today. Tomorrow, probably hit up on it again, maybe get a wall or 2 done. And I'll leave the floor for a day next week when I've got a little less, when I'm further along with the painting and the woodwork out there, so that I don't get a lot of foot traffic on the fresh tiles. So this is looking really good. I'm definitely feeling the color. It's really nice and plain. And I hope the homeowner is really happy with it. And I hope that you watching me, that you're able to create a very, very nice area for yourself. Let's get going. When I figured out the dry fit, the homeowner wanted the full tile at the bottom, and I trimmed about 1 inch off the top tiles. I'm back skimming and back combing mortar on the last row instead of spreading on the wall. If doing this method, make sure to use the same amount of mortar back combing that would be spread on the wall so that everything's consistent. Here are some final shots of the back wall. I'm using the rubber handle on this hammer to break off the clips. Pro tip, to remove dried on mortar, I like to use a cedar shim with water. Do not use metal to scrape, it could color or chip tiles. I'm going to start working on the bulkhead now. This is a pretty tricky part of this tile job. In this situation, I'm going very slow, just a couple of tiles to get it started, then I'll work on the strips, then I'll work on the face. Once I'm done this video, there is another video that's going to show the whole floor. So if you're looking for details on how to install tile on the floor, check that one out. But power tool cleaners are sure making it a lot easier. This tub is really scrubbed down, probably the best one I've ever done. Now I'm just gonna rinse it out for the homeowner. Hopefully they can test out this bathtub tonight. Silicone should be dry and all ready to go.